Welcome to the JTrain podcast. It's JTrain Jared Freid coming live from the West Village of Manhattan. We're here every Monday with your emails, your stories, your questions. I say it every episode. Let me say it again. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for telling a friend. That's how it works. You guys know. You know. You already know. You tell a friend, a coworker, a brother, a sister, a mama, a papa, anyone with ears. We'll take the earless community as well. And they tell a friend, a coworker, a brother, a sister, a mama, a papa. That's how it all works. This whole podcast game is about you sharing with the group chat, so to speak, letting people know, oh my God, they did an email that was just, this is what I thought. And you were asking about this the other day. I just had to send it to you. This podcast is so great, so wonderful. That's how it works. You know. We want new people. We want the old people to invite the new people. Big old feathering festivity. Just keep spreading the word. And I'm on the road, people. I got dates. I'm on the road again. Tampa Bay, Florida. I'm coming. Yeah, Tampa, La Jolla, Boston for You Up Live, Minneapolis, San Francisco, L.A., Huntsville, Nashville, Austin, Chicago, New York, Dayton, D.C., Albany. JaredFreid.com for tickets. JaredFreid.com for tickets. That's all you got to do. And assemble the group chat. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm taping this beforehand, but I was just in Madison. I'm sure everyone who came was wonderful, and you laughed, and we cried, and we held hands, and we talked about a relationship that went away, and you said, Jared, thank you for helping me. Yeah, that's what we do here. We help, we commiserate. And if you want your email read, jtrainpodcast@gmail.com, jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. Let's get to today's guest. Very excited. First time on the show, hilarious comic Jordan Jensen. Thank you for coming on.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Sorry, last time I slept the entire day away.
You slept? You're a late sleeper?
Well, I don't sleep. I'm like an insomniac, so then I sleep all day. A lot of times.
So let's go through the night. You
go to the Cellar.
Go do a show, Cellar, and everyone should go follow Jordan. So funny. At Jordan Jensen, LOL stop. What is the meaning of that name?
It was just years ago. I was like, I guess I'm going to get an Instagram. And I was like, asked my buddy, I was like, what should it be? And he was like, it should be at Jordan Jensen, LOL, stop making fun of me. And I was like, done. And it just
wait a minute.
That's really what it was.
You had like a sassy friend and they were like, LOL.
He was like making fun of the fact that I was getting an Instagram. You know what I mean? Like he was being like,
doesn't he feel,
bitch.
I guess, these are these things. It's like nowadays, everyone's got these like hard, hot takes. We need to like start tracking the hot takes that were just that were miserable. Like I talked about last episode. Like I remember in college, someone was like, "We got to download Facebook," and I was like, "Screw you, nerd!"
Yeah,
like I was like
totally.
way wrong. I'm willing to admit that.
Oh,
I'm
TikTok!
Okay with that.
I was like, "This is gonna come and go. This is a ridiculous, sad thing where goths dress up as puppets and sing. This is like too spooky to become anything."
Right, and now
I'm like checking it, yeah.
making livings. Yeah, everyone go follow Jordan so that she can have the TikTok goth dream that we all want. At Jordan Jensen, LOL stop. So you got done with shows. It's around what? Are you a drinker or no?
No.
You don't drink anything?
Don't drink.
Ever?
Water.
Yeah. Never drank?
Diet Coke. Lots of Diet Coke.
Never drank alcohol?
Yeah, I did. I used to.
Were you bad or was it just...
No, great drunk, great, didn't have a problem. The problem is I used to be like a big fat kid. Mm-hmm. So my metabolism from being such a fatty is so slow that I can like hardly eat and not gain weight. And alcohol was just adding, you know what I mean? I was like, I would just prefer.
Alcohol is the, the lighter fluid for everything I shouldn't be doing.
Yes. I'm not like one of my skinny friends out here who like starves and then drinks and then they're like, time for bed. I'm like, I'm going to eat all day, then drink to forget how full I am and then eat more.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
And my grandmother had a saying, and it's interesting that my grandmother was like exactly right. She would always say, you can either drink or you can eat. You can't do both. You can drink or you can eat. And she's right.
Well, old people were tiny. They stayed tiny. We think it's like, biological. They were starving themselves.
Yes, I mean, my grandmother, she was like first to Weight Watchers. She's like on the diet thing forever. But I just remember her saying that, and you're like, and then I'll have nights where I'll go out and drink, and I will like if I like hook up, like hooking up is like the I'm replacing one vice with another. Hooking up will make it so I don't, like, I will go on my way to the hookup going,
pizza.
I wish I could get pizza right now. And it's like, and then I'm like, and then it doesn't happen. And I'll wake up the next morning. I'm like, wow, I actually feel good. Like I don't feel like I'm obese.
It's
and then
totally one or the other. And I love candy so much.
That is the last thing on my mind drunk.
I have a sugar. Well, not drunk, but I'm just saying I had to choose. Do you want to be addicted to candy or do you want to drink alcohol? And I'm going to keep the candy. The other thing is.
What candy? Chocolate?
Oh, my.
Sweet. Is it fruit candy?
You know how there's like that Dylan's candy at the Whole Foods or at the airport?
Dylan's? No, I'm not
like
familiar.
Bulk candy of like gummies and, melty mints and all that.
So it's like at candy. The airport, that wall of the bags that are almost like old school candies.
Old school.
Yes.
Old school.
So like a Coca-Cola, they have like the soda one, the gummy Coca-Cola. Do you know what I'm
gummies. Like all of that. Yep, totally.
See, now that you're mentioning that wall,
you want that
I
wall.
Want that wall. No, it's not something I would
seek out that wall.
Yeah, you're seeking it out.
Yeah.
To me, someone would remind me of it. I go, I could go for a little, a sour ring.
Oh, the peach gummy rings. Get the hell out of here. They're so good.
The peach. This is how addictive sugar, candy, food in general is. I'm tasting the sugar ring.
Yeah, you got the sides.
Yeah. Like people are listening right now going, I'm tasting it. It's like when you, like, people talk about like McDonald's, the idea that like I know McDonald's by the smell is like, that's kind of insane.
Well, it's manufactured. I mean, but
this is a drug. They're doing this to us purposely, and we're all just like, So they have a smell that makes us fucking, pee our pants. Like
it's so weird. I was trying to write about this the other day, but I was like, it's weird when we were kids. Like my sister's 6 years older, and she grew up watching movies with low rise jeans, super skinny, Britney Spears, not allowed to be fat, but then. High fructose corn syrup was really getting pumped into my generation, and we got really fat. And then I was like, weird that all the movies that came out then were like Shallow Hal and like It's Okay to Be Ugly Girl. You know what I mean? And I was like, this is odd. It felt like everything came together to be like, fat's all right.
That's just enjoy your candy.
Yeah. Like Princess Bride, where it's like ugly's a good quality to be. But yeah, it is. I'm very addicted to it. Last night, literally, they just hired the hottest bartender at the Cellar. And I walked up to the bar and he like kind of looked at me and I was like, man, Jordan, this is a moment where you could be like cool and flirty. And I just reached over and grabbed the whipped cream container from behind the bar, filled a cup of it and just walked away. And
so you're eating it, whipped cream like it was ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
So you've made a choice for candy over alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol, I also, I sleep with people that I don't really like. And
explain that.
Well, when I'm drunk, I'll hit up the most recent person that was like.
The easiest.
Yeah, totally. And so that sucks. It just never leads to anything good. I'm not funnier on it. I'm super extroverted without it, so I don't really need it. The only thing is now I'm in a situation where I always date comics, so I just end up being like, well, now we're sleeping together and now we're dating. But I'm trying to not do that anymore. Okay. And now I have to go on dates, and I don't know. What are
you ordering? Are they having a drink and you're
I
not?
haven't done it.
You haven't done it?
No, I haven't done it. I've only been sober since like the pandemic, because I got pulled over in my truck and I was shithoused.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
that's a long time though now, if you think about it.
Yeah. It's very easy. I never really, besides driving drunk, which I love to do, I never had a big problem with it. If anything, I would get drunk and then be like, we got to find Coke or any pill.
So it would take you to another place. Again, lighter fluid for the worst possible next thing. Driving, Cocaine, candy, all in the same group.
Yes.
That's what everyone puts those in the same file.
I could eat candy on Coke. I can push
I could eat on Coke. That's not even like that. That's like the least surprising thing to me. Like people are like, oh no, you lose a ton of weight. Nope.
Yeah, no way.
No,
I'm just anxious.
Yeah, I'll get over that hump real quick. And the next day, it's the worst hangover ever, and you're like, give me 7 bacon, egg, and cheeses.
Oh my God, the hangover, the cocaine hangover. That's the big thing. The hangovers from alcohol would make me weird. Like it would just give you that like insane tinny feeling where you just feel like you're spun out. And if I did stand up the next day and didn't do well, I would beat the shit out of myself. Now, if I do bad, I'm like, the audience can suck my dick.
Well, you're more aware, and you're like, I know exactly what happened. It's not the alcohol. I have nothing else to blame.
Yes. Yeah.
Listen. Okay, so you go to bed after the show. So you stay up the whole night, and then you just sleep all day?
Like, I have long haul COVID, which apparently gives you insomnia, and that is when I started getting it. But I don't know. I get like, I have like Ambien. I have every single drug. I take them all, and then I just pretend to sleep until like 5 a.m. And then I sleep. And then Michael, my roommate, comes in around like 2, and he's like, "You're going to be bummed out if you don't get up." And I'm like, "Okay." And I get up.
It's the funniest alarm clock ever. If that was your alarm, just... You're going to be bummed out.
That is what it is.
That's
every
the alarm.
Day.
Yeah.
The worst is when he comes in, he's like, "Dude, I'm so sorry I was out. It's 3:30. And I'm like, "No."
Well, that's the thing. When you miss out, like this is why I love going West Coast from East Coast. I call it billionaire time, because you wake up at like 7 a.m. or, for you, 11 a.m.
Yeah.
But you wake up at a time that you're like, this is what people who get things done do.
I know, it's crazy.
That like 5 a.m. wake up where you're like fresh and you're like, wait a minute, this is what they're talking about. Like when you hear a billionaire do an interview and it's really annoying, they're like, no, I wake up at 5 before the world is going. I answer my emails. I get everything done that you get done at 9 a.m. And it's like, yeah, we get it.
Like, I put a compress on my face. What is the movie? American Psycho shit? Yeah, totally.
So I listen.
You don't have the shame. That's the thing, is you walk around, like right now I'm like walking here, right? And I have the shame where I'm like a dark person. You know what I mean? Like people are out and about and I'm like, I just rolled out of bed. My eyes
too
were closed.
Fresh. We're two different levels of freshness.
Yeah. And everybody else is too. But that's, I mean, you know who does this? Brian Regan.
What's that? He's a sleeper during the day.
He sleeps all day, but he drinks a lot too. I've
actually drank with him.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, and he does drink. More than I would have expected, because he's like, I think when you're a clean comic, you're like expected to be like clean in every place in your life, and you're just like, no, he's just he was a fun drunk. He actually walked in on me when I was in I walked in on him in the bathroom by accident. I was like, this is one of the best comedians alive. I just walked in, I go, whoa, sorry, man. And then like there was more of a story to it when it happened. I think I tried to make a joke about it, and he was like,
just come in.
Just fucking be normal. And I was like, oh.
I think Donahue walked in on Norm Macdonald one time.
Who?
Ryan Donahue.
Oh, I thought you were like Phil Donahue. I was like, how old is this reference?
I think he walked in on him and he was asleep with like a joint in his hand or something. I forget what happened, but it was something with the bathroom, or maybe he was pooping or something. I don't know, but this is a thing that occurs.
Yeah. Well, nothing makes me more angry than a faulty bathroom lock.
Yeah.
Like that is the one thing we need. The idea that they're like, yeah, the lock is like, and you're like, well, you should shut down the business. This is not how it should work.
Oh, in a business. Yeah, no,
Nothing
where you have to sit on the
more.
toilet and hold your foot up like this.
It is the saddest moment. You're like, this is how I shit now. Because when you start, the one thing they don't tell you about becoming a comedian is you will have very public bathroom journeys. You're always
you
on the
nervous
lookout.
Shits sometimes.
Nervous shits. You're on the lookout for shits. You're on the lookout for places I can go because I'm away from home and I had to be out the whole night. And then sometimes, I mean, the worst is when the comedy club has no green room bathroom and you're just like with the general population, like, hey.
Oh my God. Like the Cellar is like that.
Cellar's like that.
The Cellar, you're in the bathroom with your, and listen to me, I had a full blown, like truly near panic attack the other night. I'm in the bathroom. And the Cellar, the men's bathroom is way better than the women's. The women's is half the size.
Okay.
You open the door into your own face and then have to like squeak beyond it. And then there's somebody right here. And I get out of it and I'm like waiting to wash my hands. And 3 wasted women come up to me and they're like, "We love you." And I was like, "Thank you so much. Thank you so much." And they're like, "No, serious." And they're like touching and grabbing. And I would like nearly where I was like, I just have to get out the door. But I couldn't get out the door because they were in front of the door. It was so
and the
crazy.
thing about the Cellar is like, especially the main cellar room, it's so squished together. It's almost like they're trying to get people to touch you more. And it's like, no, especially if you're not drinking, people when they're drunk, they want to get right up in you.
Well, and usually if you're a comic, you have damage and you don't like being, a lot of us don't like being touched. That's like a big thing.
Yeah, I don't think anyone, Who touched me the other day? And I was like,
women love to touch. Women will come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, I love your earrings." And I'm like, just take them. You know, I hate it.
I was at a bar once and I was sitting in a bar stool and a guy came up to me and whacked my back and goes, "What's up, bro?" And I thought he like knew me. Like I was like, you hit me in a way that were like, and I go, and I turn and I was like looking at him like I'm like, do I know you? And he just goes, "What's going on?" I go, "Don't fucking touch me."
Oh God!
And now we're in this like fight, and I'm like, I'm right. I know I'm right. But then
whacked you.
Everyone around us kind of did the thing of like, whoa, someone's a little sensitive. It's like, no, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like the idea that I would just, what's up, bro? I don't know.
Because he saw you on stage. Oh my God!
No, this wasn't even. This was just a guy that was at a bar that was like, you know, Johnny fucking energy.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I would have been so pissed. Yeah, that's brutal. I get mad at people. There's a guy who books a show, and every time I show up to the show, he goes, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm like, "Nothing." And he's like, "Oh." And I'm like, what
yeah,
do?
No,
what is this?
I hate this like forced like no, I hate that so much.
I feel like such a bitch.
But you feel like the dick. I do this all the time where I go to a show and all I want to do is like do the show and go home. I want to like do it and get out, and I don't want to be like I do like hang out sometimes, but like now is not, maybe this isn't my night. You know, and people like
often it's not my night.
Yeah, and well, sometimes it's like that person's like fucking quinceañera. Like it's like their party that they threw together. They got their friends from high school. They got their friends from home. It's their big night, and it's like I'm not as excited for your night as you are for this night. As you are for this night. So then you look like the miserable fuck because you're like who walks into their fucking bat mitzvah being like, oh, I guess I have to be here.
Yeah,
you booked me.
Yeah,
there's totally. I know this is social for you, but it's business for me.
Yeah,
you know, like
just treat me like I'm a trained animal that you're just gonna bring up and then let out again. It is. I cannot. This one, the way he does it every time where he walks in and he's like, "What's up?" And you're like, "Did something happen? Like, what am I supposed to?"
There's another guy that does the handshake hug thing every time I see him, and I'm like, let's just do one of these.
But I'm almost done with the the cellar where somebody walks in and goes around in a circle and fist bumps.
Oh no! I'm out on that. I do a big. This good to see everybody. I'm gonna plop down here. Listen, okay, let's let out this caged animal on this show. You ready?
Yeah.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. We're here with Jordan Jensen. Go follow immediately. So funny at Jordan Jensen. LOL. Stop. JordanJensenComedy.com. Go follow. Go see her in person. You're gonna love her show. Just don't hug her after. Okay, that's all we ask. A handshake, a hello. Let's do some emails. You ready?
Yes.
JTrainPodcast at gmail.com. Horny and pregnant. Husband is not. JTrain long time. The husband's not pregnant.
Okay.
Well, maybe. I don't know. We don't know these days. You're allowed to be. if you'd like. Hopefully you can give me a male perspective insight on how to handle this situation with my husband. My husband and I have wanted to get pregnant for a while, and I finally got pregnant. Well, congratulations. I'm about 6 months along. Okay, you're in. Obviously, my body has changed a lot. I haven't gained an excessive amount of weight, but I am bigger. For the past couple months, my husband has been lovingly affectionate, but very little sexual play has been happening. We've had sex 3 times in the last month with 0 foreplay, and I'm horny. I've chalked it up to my body changing, and he's just not into it. Whatever. I know I'm not super attractive right now. But recently, he said some hurtful things and chalked them up to jokes, i.e., I shouldn't wear a 2-piece bathing suit this summer. I don't need any snacks. Oh, my God. His attraction towards me is a negative number. Like, these aren't fun jokes. I'm at the point where I'm pretty hurt and finally said something. He brushed it off as me being sensitive and not getting his humor. He never made jokes about my body or appearance prior to pregnancy, and I'm trying to rationalize if I'm being a little too sensitive. Am I letting my own insecurities get the best of me, or is he being a jerk? How can I get my husband to understand that now is not the time to make these comments or so-called quote-unquote jokes? Thanks for all you do. Sexually and emotionally frustrated. Whale.
Whale? Like the animal?
That's how she referred to herself.
Oh, no. She just needs to cheat on him. Get out there.
Just get out there.
Just get out there.
Well, there's guys with like pregnant fetishes. You know, there's guys out there that like, I mean, this goes both ways. First of all, his jokes are not jokes. You know, anyone.
No, stop eating snacks? Insane. Well, the worst one was my attraction for you is negative.
A negative number.
Is he saying, but he might be being like, It's insane that I'm gonna, the Seth Rogen and Knocked Up. Am I gonna fuck the baby's head if I fuck you?
But that's a funny joke. Like that joke makes sense, and it involves everyone. And Seth Rogen in that joke is the dummy.
Yeah,
it's self-deprecating.
Oh, totally.
I hate this. This email is very difficult because, to me, like, this could have been fun. Like,
yeah.
Like the pregnant sex to me, like. First of all, there are people that are like into that. Like there's like men out there that like watch pregnant porn. Like that exists.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm also saying that like the way this email started, I thought she was feeling down on herself, and I was like, no, he's game. Let's have some fun, fucking weird pregnant sex that like you guys, because I think the fun of sex is the change up that can happen.
Yeah.
To become a different person. The person you are during sex is not the person you are after or before. It's like 3 different people.
Right. He could be the doctor who comes in the ultrasound.
You can do ultrasound. Also, like, she looks a little different, which is fun. This is your wife that you see every day. Like, there's something, like, to me, I've said this on the podcast many times. And so this guy is kind of far away from how I would feel attraction. Like I've always said, like I want to date a hairdresser because they're always changing shit up.
I see. See, I'm the way if I'm dating a guy and he gets a haircut, we break up. Like if I feel like you're a stranger all of a sudden, I'm like, ooh, buddy, I can't.
Really?
Yeah. Like if I'm
is
dating,
there safety in that? You think that's what it is?
It's more like it's like it's a stranger danger thing. It is like I hated it when dudes I would date would like shave their beard suddenly. It would take me like a minute to calibrate. So but a slow change like that.
I mean, this is your pregnant wife.
Is insane.
Like the idea that like he doesn't understand. Well, first of all, he brushed it off as me being sensitive, not getting his humor. I don't like that. I hate that response from anyone. Your joke might have bombed, dude.
Yeah. It's not a joke if she's not laughing.
Yeah, you didn't. I would look at him and go, "Yeah, comedy's timing." Do you think the proper timing for the "I shouldn't eat snacks" joke is while I'm gaining weight to fucking have your child?
Yeah.
You think that was good timing? You think all these comics would look at you and go, "You really got it, bro"? No. So your jokes are no good.
They need to make it way more publicly known that the like, remember when Beyonce got pregnant and she got like big and hot and it like took her a while to lose weight? It really is. They make it like a thing. Like the fact that I know that Beyonce got heavy during, they need to be like, society needs to get that the women who stay really thin, that is like an anomaly. That is like a biological thing that they are able to do.
I mean, I agree with you, but like, this is one dude, and she's married to him.
Well, what do we say? Divorce him?
I mean, this is.
But this is also to me. I would stab him in his. I mean, I would be
this is horrific. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, I'm trying to be nice because I'm worried about it. But
don't be nice.
Your husband impregnated you, and you should take the child and run. He is a monster. I mean, I guess there's a part of me that's like, how did you end up getting involved with somebody who is like this? And maybe it's like goofy, playful barbecue guy who's like really sweet, but now he's getting a little spooked about the baby, so he's getting aggro.
That's an empathetic way to look at it. Like if we look at it the most empathetic way towards this guy, where like he's afraid, he's making jokes because he's afraid his lifestyle is going to change. There's this like thing where like the men feel like intimidated by being less loved than the baby. You hear about that all the time. If I'm this woman, I'm going to him and being like, hey, we got to fucking talk. Like, we got a baby coming. We need us to be working. I think that's the most important part. Like, I am now seeing my partner bail at minute 1 of this whole family situation on our sex life. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm fucking scared.
Right. And they're going to go through the sleepless nights where she's all haggard and, the post-baby, all this stuff.
We got to have this too. I think this is the thing. Like, you can't just like, and I do think a very male thing is to go, life is over now that the baby's here. I'm just dad. I'm just fucking doofy fucking loser, New Balance dad. And I think that's kind of what he's doing.
Well, usually it's the opposite. Like it's somebody will have it. Like my sister had a baby and then she was like, ew, I have no interest in having sex with you. I have this thing now that provides me with
That's a scary fucking thing.
Really scary. I mean, it's an issue because it's like, he's like, she's lost all the baby weight. She looks amazing. She's done all that. And he's like, all right. And she's like, I can't do this times. Like her physiology has changed where she's like not into it. But this is disturbing because it's like she is probably way less sexual than she has been in the past. And
she says she's fucking horny.
Oh, horny because of the baby, right? So then, I mean, if it were, okay, if one of my friends is asking me this, I mean, I would be like, 1, you should leave him. 2, plant fake DMs from somebody really hot hitting on you. 3, I mean, yeah, I would be like, I guess I would probably go to a couples therapist to figure out what it was, because he just transformed into a piece of shit suddenly.
That's the thing. You married this guy. You had a baby with this guy. For him to go, you don't get my humor. It's like, well, I got your humor until I fucking put on some weight with a baby that was yours. So I think it's
probably just panicking.
I think couples therapy is a great suggestion. I think it's two-pronged. It starts with a talk with him. Hey, I'm annoyed. You have just totally disregarded my feelings. You're making comments. I'm gaining weight because of our baby. Of course, I'm sensitive. I'm feeling down on myself. Look at the way she wrote this email. Obviously, my body has changed. I haven't gained an excessive amount of weight, but I am bigger. Like,
sincerely, the whale. Yeah,
like sincerely the whale.
Love from the whale.
Jumbo. Just like, well, that's the thing. Like, it's like I'm feeling down on myself. The languaging in her email is very down. Hey, I'm feeling down. I'm looking for your support, and I'm fucking horny for your cock. And you respond with, no foreplay and go have your snacks.
No foreplay is rough. Like the snacks, all these jokes.
I need you to lick this baby's forehead now. And if you can't do that, now we got to go to therapy because we have a major issue.
I also think that, I mean, even if she was like, I've gained an excessive amount of weight, it really does suck, and I don't even recognize myself, but I wish he would still fuck me. I would still be like, he's a piece of shit. He should be like, you're fine. The weight is going to happen. I'll still, you know what I mean?
This talk should happen.
Yeah.
And if miraculously he suddenly understands this and becomes an empathetic human being, then you guys need to plan a night. You got to plan a night.
Yeah.
Let's call
Turn
it
the lights off. No, I'm just kidding.
No lights. You decorate the whole room to look like SeaWorld. You're in the tank. Come on down.
Saddle up.
Shamu's tank. And he's gonna have to. He's the seal that you're gonna throw around. No, I think you definitely plan a night where it's like Lick Fest 22. Like you gotta have like a fun
You know what I would
night.
do if he sounds like a bro kind of. You know what I mean? I would also be like, talk to his buddies or his buddies' wives and be like, dude, can you like?
I don't know.
If they hang out,
can you believe this guy won't fuck me?
Well, in a nice way, I would be like, "Can you?" Because he sounds like one of these nerds who's like, "Yeah, my buddies don't fuck. I'm not fucking any pig." But if he got
if she was to play this podcast for him, that's exactly how he sounds.
Yeah,
he sounds like a fucking nerd loser
with like a brimmed hat that's really curled. You know what I mean, like tight.
That's like embarrassed to be with his wife because his buddies might judge him. Like that's insane.
Yeah, totally.
I think talk, then plan a night if things work out. If the talk can go one of two ways. It can go well, it can go bad. It goes well, then you guys plan a night where you guys, it's going to be, you write on a card what you want, he writes on a card what he wants, make it a fun sexual night. If it goes badly, you got to go to couples therapy. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com, JTrainPodcast@gmail.com, here with Jordan Jensen, @Jordan Jensen, stop LOL. LOL stop.
Yep.
Stop LOL?
Jordan Jensen, LOL, stop.
I have it written down. @LOL, stop. Okay. We're sponsored, people. Truff. JTrain Podcast brought to you by Truff. I love Truff.
What's
you
Truff?
Ever had it?
No.
Truffle hot sauce.
Ooh.
It's like decadent. It takes your food and just makes it an experience.
The truffle fries at the Cellar.
Like a truffle fry at the Cellar. Like
those are nuts.
Truffle, like, it just creates an ambiance.
It's so good.
And it's, I call it a dab of fab.
Nice.
Because you're adding a dab of fab to something normal. This spring cleaning is here. Time to clean out the door of the fridge and get rid of all those sauces and spreads you haven't used over a year. That's a great idea. Look, now you've made room for Truff's entire line of fabulous products. Okay, I love Truff. I love that you can, because I'm always trying to stay healthy. The boring part about healthy, it's always the same. This gives you a little change up that's not like breaking the bank calorie-wise, and flavorful, delicious. And they have it in so many different ways. It's a hot sauce with an edge, and it all started with two college friends named Nick, who disrupted the hot sauce industry with their social media skills and genius move to slip some truffles in there. And you don't have to take my word for it. Truff has been featured on Oprah's Favorite Things 3 times.
Wow.
Do you know, like, people would give a left fucking arm to get on Oprah's Favorite Things 1 time.
Yeah.
3 times. Named bestseller of the year on the Today Show, Truff's full lineup of products not only includes their signature hot sauces, but, and I will say this, the pasta sauce, they can't keep it. It's amazing. The mayonnaise, put it on a turkey sandwich.
Wow, mayonnaise.
Fuck.
Damn.
And their very own truffle oil. I make popcorn with the truffle oil. Delicious. All their products are infused with 100% real black winter truffle or white truffle. That means no synthetic or artificial flavoring ever. And just for my listeners, they're giving you an amazing offer. 15% off site-wide plus free shipping with promo code JTrain at truff.com. That's 15% off everything at TRUFF as in fantastic or fire, TRUFF.com, promo code JTrain. Here with Jordan Jensen, at Jordan Jensen, LOL stop. Internet friend following me? Okay. JTrain, love the podcast. You're so funny and clever. Thanks for all you do. So I've gotten myself into a pickle. For reference, I'm a 26-year-old woman. Background, about a few years ago, I was in a terrible place. Just got out of a 3-year emotionally draining relationship. I was going to college for a really hard major and away from my family. I had no friends because I only spent time with my ex. I was extremely depressed and lonely. I found an internet friend that has helped me through hard times. He's really smart, funny, and really cares about me. We became really close and still talk all the time. At some point during this time, our relationship became virtually intimate, which was initiated by him. He has expressed a lot of interest in dating me. I do like him, but I told him long-distance dating was not a good idea and that I was uncomfortable with meeting in person. Fast forward to now. I am really happy with a great job and great friends and close to family. We still talk all the time and send nudes occasionally, but anytime I am busy, he makes me feel bad for not messaging him. He lives far away from me and told me he is desperate to move away from his hometown. I said it was a good idea, but he told me he narrowed it down to 2 cities, mine being one of them. I told him that it would make me uncomfortable if he moved here and that I felt like he picked my town as an option because he wanted to pursue me. I voiced my concerns and he said that he didn't pick my town to move to solely for me, but I don't believe him. There are many other places he could have picked. He has asked me to meet many times, but I always say no. He says he understands and is really nice about it, but he also told me he found jobs here. He also told me he found jobs here already. He told me he wouldn't move here if I told him not to, but I don't want to control his life. I don't know how to move on from this. I feel like I can't go back to being just friends after exchanging nudes with him frequently. He is nicer to me than the guy I know here, and I do think he loves me, but I just can't picture being with him. I really don't want to hurt him, but I feel like I am going along with what he wants, like sending nudes and talking all the time to avoid hurting his feelings. The truth is that I don't know what I want and need an outside perspective. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. What do we think, Jordan Jensen?
I have to know what they look like. You know what I mean?
Really?
Well, I want to see his nudes. You know what I mean? Is he really fucking banging?
Well, the nudes were so good that she's like, I feel uncomfortable seeing you. You know, like.
Yeah.
So, like,
that's true.
I mean, that's not to say I don't.
She's 26. Oh, she's 26. Get the fuck out of there. What are you doing? Yeah, get out of there.
Okay, so this is fraught with danger because it's internet people, and just
if she was 60, I'd be like, it's the best you got. Keep going. You know what I mean? But
this
26, you're just a kid. Yeah.
Well, I think what happens. First of all, we have to admit to the dangers of meeting anyone on the internet. Like, the way she describes them, internet friend. Well, I don't even know what that means. I don't know how you met or where you met or how real the information that's being exchanged is. So you always have to, first of all, I think you need to tell a lot of friends and family what's going on here.
Good point.
You got to get the community involved.
Yeah,
People
is it like
need to
dating
know.
app or like chat roulette? You know what I mean?
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
It's not like they met on an app. You know,
it could have been on an app. Remember Hinge had that? I know somebody who met somebody like distantly.
You can do that. No, I'm saying, but she didn't say it. So I'm assuming
internet.
if they had met through Hinge, I think that would have been a part of it. Like we matched. This
Instagram?
could be Instagram. Listen,
that's a
the
big
way
one.
Instagram works. On your For You page, you send a DM, you respond. All of a sudden, you guys are talking, and you forget that you met through kind of a weird way that no one agreed to. Listen, the reality is, it's someone. make this more relatable, I do understand where the texting and the internet stuff, and I'm internet meaning DMs, texting, phone calls, can get farther ahead than two people are in reality. This happened to me recently.
It happened to me recently too.
Right?
Totally.
What happened to you?
Just where it was like everything that would occur throughout the day, it was like, this just happened, and there's like back and forth, and there was like almost a flow state of communication where it's like joke. And then we would see each other, and it was good, but it was not the same.
Well, that's the thing. I had a situation, I was having drinks in company, like it was a lot of us having drinks.
Yeah.
I exchanged numbers with one of the people, and it was flirty.
Yeah.
And then it became what you said, like this back and forth. We're almost talking every day. And, also talking, I felt like I was in the position of this woman. Because in the way where I'm like, I'm being nice, but I also enjoy texting with them. And then it got like...
It's addicting. You're not alone.
It's a little addicting.
Yeah.
And then it got a little bit sexual. And then it got to the point where it's like, okay, they were like, let's meet. And I was like, if we meet right now... this isn't a first date.
Oh, you like had you hadn't gone on it. For me, it was like...
We'd never gone on a date.
We would go out, but then there was so much communication between the going out.
Yeah.
That I was like, these two people really get along, but the in-person people are scared.
That's interesting. I think it's my situation is more like hers.
Way more, yeah.
Because it was like, we're texting, messaging, and like flirting, sexting, all that kind of stuff. And then it came to the point where it's like, hey, this person's like, let's get together. And you go... well, I think this would matter more to you than it would to me, and that wouldn't even be fair for us to get together.
Right.
And I think that's where she is. She's like, how could I make someone move to my town?
Yeah.
When I am sitting here being like, I'm doing this to be nice. Because now you feel like you are now driving their life,
Yeah.
And I really don't buy it from him, the idea that he's like, I got a bunch of jobs lined up. Like what?
Yeah,
like what's the job? Like if that's the case, then this person doesn't have jobs. I don't believe that. I think that they're trying to check this through you. I think what she needs to do is have a breakup. And I know this is like a little scary. That's why I say tell your friends and family. You need to let people know, hey, this is what's going on in my life. I'm a little uncomfortable. The fact that you are uncomfortable with meeting him in person, even still, that means there's something off. There's something you don't believe, which that's okay. But I think you need to have a breakup. There needs to be a breakup. I had this happen. I was like, I can't meet you tonight. That means this is done. And it got very upsetting. I was upset about...
I can't meet you. Just period. Just for a date.
Because if we meet, I do understand where she's at.
Yeah.
There is a thing, and you don't want to sound like a dick, and you don't want to speak for other people, but you know where you are.
Yeah.
And you have a feeling of where they are.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm not that. Mm-hmm. And listen, you might be able to come, I could maybe get to you, but you're not coming backwards to me. Emotionally.
Right. And let's take it like go as far on the, the benefit of the doubt in the direction of that she's into him. She really enjoys talking to him. It feels really good. Maybe she doesn't want to meet up with him partially because insecure. Like, even if you go all the way in that direction, you're not scared of him, yada, yada, yada. It still is like, it still is one in so many people that you're going to have a connection with. And if your instincts aren't telling you to like meet up with them, you should just listen. You know what I mean?
You're basically, you're right. And I understand exactly what you're saying. You're basically saying like, well, I'm putting money, it's almost like you're investing in something that the chances of it aren't great. Like, again, if you took it all the way to the nth degree of like, and you meet him and it ends up being great, like you're betting on a bad hand. That, and bad hands sometimes win, but I don't think it's going to win in this case.
And if there's like already the feeling that you have to like give this guy something or he gets insecure and you know that you have to.
I don't like the idea. Again, I don't like the idea of like, hey, where are you? You're not messaging me as much as you used to. It's like, this is an internet thing. And I do understand it's this weird thing in your brain where you keep going with the internet thing because you can almost schedule it.
Totally. And you don't actually have to see them, and you can tell them about everything that you're thinking without having them communicate directly back to you, so your uninterrupted thoughts. It's just having an audience all the time.
That's a great way to put it, because and so they're not. It's not even really an even relationship, but she needs a breakup. She needs to say to this guy, "Hey, and hey, I am moving on. This has been fun for what it was. It served me good. You've been a good part of my life in this sense." But I need to move on from this, and I wish you only the best of luck. And then you got to tell your friends and family, because this, we don't know where internet guy that you met can kind of go from here.
And you're going to want to cave a bunch of times when you feel weird and things are, you look at his picture and it's really good. So, and then you text him. This is what I do. I have a buddy, and I'm like, every time I want to text my ex, I'm going to text you instead. And it's Ian Fidance every single time. I just got dumped so hard, and I'll just text him and be like, hey. And he's like, I'll distract you.
You got dumped hard, and then you're like, I can't text this person.
Yeah, because I'm so impulsive. I'll just want to be like, oh, I saw this thing that reminded me of you. I hate myself. Why did I do it? So instead, I'll just text Ian and be like, what's up, you little bitch?
It's a great idea. Yeah. JTrain podcast. You need a new internet friend that's an actual friend. We'll give you Ian's number.
Yeah.
JTrain podcast.
But it does help. You just need an outlet. It's an addiction, and it feels weird to not be doing it all the time, but once you quit it.
But don't refill your internet friend with another internet
friend.
No. You got to find a real friend. JTrainpodcast@gmail.com. We're sponsored. The JTrain podcast is brought to you by Brooklinen. It's spring again. Time for a refresh. Spring is in the air. They're in the ads. I'm a huge in your nose. Yeah. We got allergies. I'm a huge Brooklinen fan. Okay, I'll tell you right now. You know how I know Brooklinen is good? My mom's asking about it. My mom's like, I want this Brooklinen. My mom, she ain't getting, like, I always think when someone sponsors this podcast, I'm like, oh, it's in like podcast, we're in our 20s, give me some cheap stuff land.
Yes.
Brooklinen is beyond that. It is hotel quality. It is beautiful. They send it with a little detergent so you can get the full spa experience of putting it's the poor man's spa. Putting your sheets in the wash, getting them out, making your bed, and then getting in that bed. Are you kidding me? That is a beautiful experience. And we're gonna give you. They got soft sheets, luxurious towels, robes, snugly weighted blankets. Snugly weighted blankets. Even saying that phrase,
I have insomnia. It is the only thing that gets me to go to sleep.
Really,
is my weighted blanket.
See, every time I think of a weighted blanket, I don't think of it as snugly. I would think of it as like, but this is the
mine
the
might
beauty
be
of
Brooklinen, actually. It might be really soft.
Oh my god, snugly weighted blanket, like that made me want to curl up into a ball. Pillowcases too. Brooklinen, home of the internet's favorite sheets, was created in 2014 to give customers luxury hotel level home essentials that don't break the bank. So they cut out the middle person. They cut out the store that you used to get to. They're not. So your sheets used to have the rent of Bed Bath & Beyond included them. Not anymore. Brooklyn's giving you hotel quality goods for not breaking the bank dollar. And if it's your first time, their best-selling Luxe sheets are the perfect place to start, featuring an irresistibly soft feel and buttery smooth finish. I'm looking at it. It's on my bed right now. Beautiful. Go to brooklinen.com. Use promo code JTrain20 to get $20 off your purchase of $100 or more. That's BROOKA. That's BROOKLINEN.com. Enter promo code JTrain20 for $20 off your purchase today. Brooklinen, the curators of comfort. Here with Jordan Jensen. Go follow immediately at Jordan Jensen. LOL stop. Dating a divorced daddy. A dilemma.
Nice.
Jared, love seeing you perform in Philly. Can't wait to listen to your Bachelorette live streams again. Here's what's going on. 2019, I started working at a university and quickly developed a crush on a professor. He was 15 years older than me, a colleague, and seemingly happily married, dad of 2. 3 years later, he asked me to drinks and told me his wife is leaving him. I was in shock. Soon after we started dating, the experience did not live up to my fantasy. Oh, really?
Yeah.
The guy left by his wife wasn't...
The guy who was getting left by his wife hit up the rando that he met once. Okay, cool.
He was obviously traumatized by the separation, constantly dumping his emotions on me and saying how guilty he felt for spending time away from his kids. I empathized. But at the same time, he made me feel like a burden. After just 2 months, I told him I didn't think he was ready for a relationship, and he agreed. Since then, we have continued to talk on the phone regularly, and I feel closer to him than ever. We respect and admire each other, and I love so many things about him. We decided to pick a date 2 months from now to start to meet in person and reassess our situation. Here are my questions. Is this a good plan, or am I simply prolonging the inevitable? I'm worried he may need years before he's ready to be in a relationship again. Even then, I'm not sure whether our lives will ever be compatible. I'm so much younger, childless, and less established in my career. I don't want to lose him, and I have no desire to date other people, but I can't can't get over the feeling that I am trying to make things work with someone who is ultimately unavailable. By the way, I have since changed jobs, so we no longer work together. What do you think, Jordan Jensen?
What are their age differences?
15 years.
But how old is she? Does it say?
I don't think it says. She's 2019 started working there, so I don't know. I would say, based on the averages of this podcast listenership, let's say she's 25.
Okay, making him 40.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, the age difference is fine. My mom dates like fucking 28-year-olds.
Yeah, the age isn't really the thing that gets me here.
I think go on. I think it's to setting the 2 months out is a good idea. I think chill on talking to him. Yeah.
Why is that?
Because she's giving herself good space. She's giving herself distance from now.
But she's made her decision.
No.
She's saying, since then we've continued to talk on the phone regularly, and I feel closer to him than ever.
Yeah.
We respect and admire each other, and I love so many things about him. We decided to pick a date 2 months from now to meet in person and reassess our situation.
Yeah.
That sounds like she agreed to a deal that he proposed.
No, I think she's saying, I love talking to him. We both want to date each other, but we said in 2 months, we'll see how we feel. You think they're just beginning dating and then in 2 months gonna...
I think they're waiting to date in 2 months.
Yeah.
I think he's buying time.
To do what?
This guy, to me...
Is not over his wife?
She ends it with him because he's not really giving her all she wants. She says, I empathize, but at the same time, he made me feel like a burden. Okay? I think it's interesting to me that the guy she meets at work who's seemingly happily married, the first call he makes is the first relationship he's in. To me, she was the easiest person to call. He was attracted to her.
Yeah.
She gave him attention. They worked together.
She's very young.
She's very young.
Yeah.
He made no effort to even go through what he is as a single person. He has made no effort to even go outside of his general circle to meet new people or make new relationships.
Why not? Why do you know?
He gets the first call he makes. 3 years later, he asked me to do drinks and told me his wife was leaving him. So you get drinks with someone, and she's looking for a relationship. She's saying, I had to leave him because I felt like the burden. Like,
yes.
to me, this is someone, she is a crutch for him, and she's allowing this to happen.
But she is in love with him, it sounds like.
She might be in love with him.
You just have higher standards for men. I date men, and I'm just like, they all are awful. They all are guys who are going to go through a divorce and grab the nearest, hottest thing to them and be like, you're my friend.
But
Boobs,
then she tried. Yeah.
And then she tried, and he was like, I have kids, and it's hard. And
then she dumps him, and then they stay in contact over the phone.
Right.
He's had the ability in all... And then to say... We'll reassess in 2 months. Let's just keep talking on the phone so you can be my crutch because I'm emotionally not doing well.
But she likes being the crutch.
I think she wants to get somewhere different. I think she'd like to go somewhere new.
She said it's the greatest thing. I can't imagine dating anybody else, but am I fucking up?
It's great because now it's an internet friend. Like if you look back, like true. He's gone from real life person that disappointed her to internet friend who she has an audience and she gets it on her schedule. Like to me, this is never going to change.
I think it's unrealistic to expect people to end things without knowing that they should end. You know what I mean? Like, even if we're like, end it. Yes, most likely this is never going to work out. But most likely you're not going to take that advice and you're going to see him anyway because you're infatuated.
Well, I don't think, I'm not in favor of saying end it.
Okay,
That's not my advice.
Okay, what do you think?
Advice is waiting 2 months to reassess is insane.
You think meet up with him now?
Let's get it together. Let's have a date. You have had the taste test at Costco. You know what it tastes like.
Yeah.
You know, like the idea of like whether you want to buy or not, or want to. And she's asking for very simple things. The idea that she says, my question is this a good plan or am I simply prolonging the inevitable? I'm worried he may need years before he's ready to be in a relationship again. That means she wants a relationship, which that is not, you're not wrong. You're right. It's a simple ask.
Yeah.
Can we go on a date?
Well,
Can
I thought she was saying,
each other and
I'm
going
to
to
give him 2 months because he's still, I thought she was saying, we're going to do 2 months from now because he still needs more time because he went through this divorce. So we'll see in 2 months.
Well,
and I was thinking you wouldn't talk so much. You know what I mean?
I don't trust that at all. They are going to do the same thing. He is looking. He's like, okay, I got to extend my drug. She's the drug. Yeah. How do I get another 2 months out of this before I have to give an answer again?
Whose idea it is. If it's your idea to be like, hey, in 2 months, let's hang out and see what happens and chill until then, fine.
If it's her idea and she can do that while not talking for these 2 months.
Then do that.
Then do that.
That's
fine.
what I was thinking it would be.
But if they're going to do the same thing for 2 months, if this is just him going to the pharmacist and refilling his prescription of you, then you have to be realistic and you have to say, hey, I can do a date tomorrow and we can see what this is, because this isn't a first date. This is like the 70th date.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's got to feel good about this too. She's trying.
Yes.
You know, I don't buy...
Also, he has kids. Yuck. Get out of there.
Reassess in 2 months. I just don't see how that... Like, every time I hear this, like, yeah, we'll talk about it in 2 months. That's someone who doesn't want to talk about it today.
I think she said it.
She said we, which means him. That's... I mean,
I see.
We decided.
Makes a huge difference. If he was like, reassess, he's a dirtbag, and that's scary. If you were like, dude, I don't know what I want, and I don't know if you're ready, so let's just talk about this in 2 months. Great. Good for you. Take the space.
Well, that would mean... her dating, that means a whole lot of other difficult things. Like, it's not just like a it's not just like, oh, we'll reassess in 2 months and then I just do my own thing. No, you got to date, you got to meet new people, he's got to do those things too, and then you have to like aspire to one another.
Yes.
Like, the idea that you're gonna like flop back into each other in 2 months when is not exciting at all for anyone.
And that it'll be different. I would say if you're gonna hold up to the 2 months thing, no contact, take a break, see how you feel, get detached from each other, talk on the phone in 2 months and be like, do we want to meet up? Is this worth it? Assess. But don't keep talking for the 2 months.
A date has to be made.
Or do the date. Yeah.
JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Here with Jordan Jensen. @Jordan Jensen. LOL. Stop. We're sponsor people. Nutrafol. I love Nutrafol. The JTrain podcast is sponsored by Nutrafol. 30 million women experience weakened or thinning hair, but thousands of women have taken control of their hair with Nutrafol. Improve hair growth and less shedding through all stages of life. You'll begin to experience thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair in 3 to 6 months. I will say this. My mom took the Nutrafol from me.
I took Nutrafol.
You take it?
Well, my buddies were all taking it, and their hair was amazing, but I have really thick hair, but it did make my pubic hair more full.
Fun.
Which is crazy. I mean, I have like light pubic hair, and that was nuts. And then I was like, my hair became super thick, but it's already very thick, so I didn't need it.
Well,
but
this is a personal endorsement right here.
Yeah. It really does
all
work.
Hair. This is great.
Effective.
Listen, if you guys are if you and your partner are trying something new,
thick pubic hair,
thick pubes. There we go. But that's great. I mean, my mom took it and she was like, I love it. Kept getting refills, into it. So Nutrafol offers 2 targeted formulas for women that are clinically shown to improve hair growth and thickness with less shedding through all stages of life. It works by targeting the 5 roots of thinning: stress, hormones, environment, nutrition, and your metabolism. You may also notice improvements to your overall well-being, including more restful sleep, less stress, better skin, nails, and libido. When you subscribe, you'll receive automatic monthly deliveries so you never miss a dose. Grow thicker, healthier hair and support the show by going to Nutrafol.com. Use promo code JTrain. New customers get $15 off your first month subscription. This is their best offer available anywhere and only available to U.S. customers for a limited time. Plus, get free shipping on every order. So take $15 off at Nutrafol.com. That's spelled Nutrafol.com. Promo code JTrain. Stand up for your strands and get Nutrafol. What a great personal endorsement.
Yeah, my friends take it, and they had that's why I started taking it, because their hair was so... But mine's just like that naturally.
There we go. Some people are lucky.
Yeah, sorry.
Listen, ghosting comment from a recent episode. So here's some feedback from a recent episode. It was a response to my story, right, Shelby? It was a response. Jared, I'm listening to your podcast from today, and you're reading the first email when someone said they were ghosted. You replied to this person by saying she could have followed up by texting, "Are you still alive?" I would advise against that for this reason. I have been somewhat of a serial dater over the past 4 years. I've been on many of the apps and had my fun. It was not uncommon to hit off with someone and then go months without hearing from them and then pop up later. I had this with one particular guy. He would text for extended periods of time, binge watch shows together while texting, and meet up when he would be in town. He was a pilot. He would try and plan trips when he would be in my city, and we would spend evenings together. Definitely a fling. Being the single woman I am, I would keep my attached friends up to speed with my dating escapades. After several months had gone by and I hadn't updated one of my friends about the pilot, she asked what the latest with him was. She advised me to text and ask, "Are you alive?" in the same way that I did. I'm glad I didn't. I instead decided to Google him as I deleted my apps and discovered his obituary from a month prior. Oh. I also discovered he was married with a few stepchildren, which I honestly suspected, even asked him about, and he denied. I'm so glad I didn't text, "Are you alive?" Who knows if his grieving widow
my God,
had his phone and then discovered his infidelity post-mortem. Anywho, didn't want this to be so dark, but now my friend never suggests that text when guys drop off my texting schedule. R.I.P. my pilot fling.
Oh, that's a good one.
I still stand by the advice of "Are you alive?" I don't really care. This guy was cheating on his wife. Fuck him. Fuck his memory. I mean, also, "Are you alive?" Where you been is nice. You can transfer in something as fun as "Are you alive?"
Are you alive? Yeah. The only thing with "Are you alive?" when I get that text is like, if I don't text you, are you going to think I'm dead? You know what I mean? Like it insinuates that.
It's the playfulness of like, I'm so great, you must be dead.
Right.
That you haven't.
Yes.
That's the fun flirtiness of it. Like,
I got "Do we still know each other?" recently. That was okay. Do we know each other?
Do we know each other?
That was
I like
good,
that.
Yeah.
Do you still have this number?
Yeah.
Did you get a new phone? Did you lose my number? There's other ways. Consider the intent. I love when people. This happens all the time with advice-driven shows. When we talk, I give people, like you said, you're like, I would never say dump him. I would say go if you could. You need to go on the date to feel this.
Yes.
So like a lot of the measures that I've ever given on the show has never been like, this is a hard and fast statement on who. I could never give you a rule. There's no rule. Your feelings are the rule.
Yes.
So it's interesting that someone will go, no. I wrote to this pilot, "Are you alive?"
Yeah.
And his ghost came back, and he was like, "Ooh!" Like, okay,
and then
you
his
got
wife
haunted.
Killed himself, and then somebody texted her and was like, "Are you still alive?"
This happens with married people when. Married people will push you towards their shitty experience. Like, if a married person met in the extremes of life, like in the extremes of the bell curve, they talk about it like that is what. No, go to an alley. Robert screamed at me from an alley.
Yeah, we did meet on chat roulette.
No, he was whacking off, and I said, "Wow, your cock looks great." And then we ended up getting together. Go on chat roulette. Chat roulette. That's the second time you've referenced it. Were you a user? That was like a 4-second period of time.
I loved chat roulette so much.
For those listening or watching that don't remember it or don't know, it was basically an app where
it was brilliant. It was the most brilliant. You would log on and then you would click through different people's screens and it would go all around the world to different people's screens, jacking off, saying hi, doing a dance.
You would just get
anonymous,
run through and it was video, right? It was like
full video,
and you just be in front of someone. And I remember because everyone tried it for like the 4-month period. It was like a thing.
God, it was. And then you just a Russian with a gun.
Yeah, you
know
just
what I mean?
Be staring at someone.
Oh.
And it was just like two people on the other side of like a window.
And I was like a girl in college, so you'd watch them all be like, yeah, wait. And we'd be like, and click next. It was like playing tag online. It was good.
Really a weird moment in internet history that...
I knew it couldn't last. It was too good to be true. Too good to be true.
Well, people were going to ruin it. And also like, the jerking off got excessive, I guess.
So much jerking off. But I'm down. That's
down. The thing. The problem is there's people that were like, no, I get it.
It's great.
This is what's going on.
It's anonymous.
Other people were like, I couldn't believe the people who couldn't believe it. Like the people
that's
that
what
are like,
it was for.
How could you ruin the sanctity? It was like, and it had kind of like that old internet look. It was like Wordle of its time. Like it just was very like.
It was in the Stumble Upon. Remember Stumble Upon?
What's that?
It was a button that you would download that would be in the corner of your computer, and it would bring you to a different weird site or any site. And
people. This was Stumble On for people.
No, yes, for human beings.
Yeah.
But the jerking off thing, I mean, it was great. As a kid, especially, not a kid, but a college student, just being like, oh, there are dicks that look like that. Okay.
Yeah. If you could take it, I guess chat roulette was hurt by not trigger warning. They should have had
just don't go to the website. Yeah, totally.
If they had a trigger warning, we're like, hey, there's going to be cocks.
It's called roulette for a reason.
Well, because
it'll shoot you.
You'll get you. It might kill you. But I'm saying if they had warned people, then if they were just like, this is what we do, then maybe it would have worked out.
I wonder why it came down. There must have been a reason. Somebody probably killed themselves on it or something.
I mean, something horrific must happen. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Here with Jordan Jensen at Jordan Jensen, LOL, stop. Okay. How to deal boyfriend's female friends.
Oh, good one.
Okay, this is a good one.
I am the female friend.
I feel like you're the female friend.
Yeah,
you. Okay, Jared. Long-time listener, I'm in desperate need of advice from a male perspective. My boyfriend and I are in our mid-30s and have been together a year. We're very committed to each other, have a ton of fun, and just moved in together. There's one thing I'm really struggling with. He has several close female friends. Self-admittedly, I'm on the jealous side, and this certainly exasperates my insecurities. His best friend is a woman, married with kids, but they find the time to FaceTime several times a day. They are in the same industry, so they bounce ideas off each other, but a lot of the time, it's not work related. He also has other female friends / coworkers he chats with a lot about work and personal stuff. They are all in relationships, but I guess that doesn't really matter to me because I'm not jealous in that I think my boyfriend would cheat. I've met most of them and they're perfectly nice. It's more that he dedicates all his time and energy to the other women. Like, why can't they vent or talk or shit talk to their spouses or partners? Why is my boyfriend the go-to bestie to vent, talk about TV, dogs, etc.? It drives me nuts. When I talk to him about it,
he's gay. Okay.
When I talk to him about it, he gets defensive and says he's not going to end his friendships. I've never asked him to do so, but it would be nice if he reassured me or compromised with me a bit. How do I cope with this? I think you've mentioned you have a lot of female friends. Has it ever been an issue with a partner? Is it crazy for me to want him to make some adjustments now that he's in a committed relationship? Maybe curb the constant communication. I'm in therapy to work this out because I know it's my issue, but I also want to understand if I'm being totally unreasonable. Sincerely, my boyfriend is everyone's bestie. What do you think?
It would really gross me out if my boyfriend was FaceTiming with one of his buddies, no matter what the gender, every day. It's just it's a turnoff. It's like your mom doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is interesting because I thought the same thing. This is genderless. Like, when you get in a relationship, you have less time for other people.
Yeah.
That just generally. And if you don't make less time for other people, you have to wonder, like, are you having a good time in this thing?
Well, probably what's happening is, so he gets into the relationship. The other ones who are unhappy or bored in their relationship keep contacting. I mean, this happened. My best friend is a man, and I would notice that I was like, oh shit, now we're not talking except for when she's not there, which sucks. But it was like, you do adapt. You like realize what's going on. But
isn't that the case for anyone that gets in a relationship?
Anyone
that gets in a relationship, less time. They got to do like, I have
it would be
friends
so
in
weird to,
it's weird to not adjust the levels on each of the friends. And for him to say, the interesting part about this email is the way it's written, is she then blames them and not him.
Yeah, he sounds like a simp who can't stand up for himself.
Yeah, because she writes, I've met most of them, like, why can't they vent or shit talk to their spouses or their partners? Why can't your real issue is that your boyfriend doesn't want to vent to you, right?
Well, I think the issue is more like the boyfriend doesn't have enough self-respect to be like, hey, we're like in the house together. This is like weird. Even when somebody FaceTimes me and I have to pick it up, like a comedian who's one, you know what I mean? I'm still like, I'll text you, yeah, hey, I'm with somebody else. Like, it's just a rude, disrespectful thing. And I also think that if you're like, well, we live together, so it's going to happen, so I'm going to go in the bedroom and talk, it just means that he doesn't have enough, like, either like, I guess I would be worried that he wasn't into the relationship as much as I was, because I would be like, yeah, I would just be like, dude, I'll call you later when I'm not. You know what I mean? I would feel disrespected.
I also, it's just kind of weird to be in an apartment with someone and they're just like walking around on FaceTime like, yeah, I know, dogs are weird.
Yeah,
and then you're there, you're like, you could say
like,
that
hi,
to
Nicole,
me.
and you're like,
hey.
Yeah, I would say.
Like, and what were they wearing? It's like, it's a little too much. It's like, I mean, for him to say, I mean, his comment to her was very much in the vein of the pregnant wife. Like, I've never asked him to do so, but it would be when I talk about it, he gets defensive, says it's not going to end his friendship. No one's asking you to end friendships.
That's the worst, though.
When you become adults, you start having adult friendships. This is not the talk all day. This is planned hangouts, and we get together when. You can't have these continuous dialogues with people. That ends. I have friends, I mean, I'm talking about male friends of mine in relationships with kids. I don't, get calls from them every day to be like, well, what's...
Right. I will say he probably will. It will fade. Like, he probably is trying to hold this up right now because he's like, nothing's different, nothing's weird. I'm not moving in with my girlfriend. Like, you know what I mean? He will chill out on it, but I would be like, I think what I would do is I'd be like, hey, is there any way that you could, like, text instead of FaceTiming in the house? Because it really does make me feel like
I'm in the background. I'm a secondary player.
Yeah, what would I say? I would be like...
Here's what she has to do. You start FaceTiming with a bunch of dudes at the same time. Hey, I'm
in the tub.
Right?
I would be like, it makes me feel like I'm dating like a teenager. That's how I mean, that's how it would make me. If my 35-year-old boyfriend was being like, hey, and it's like, making the noise, and then like, what's up? No, I'm just chilling at home. Yeah, Nicole's here. Hey. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just unattractive.
It is so unattractive. I would be mortified. And even if he is like, yeah, I'm a sweet guy, and that's like my, what is gender? Just be like, dude, it just feels really juvenile. It doesn't feel like we're adults.
I think her gendering it is hurting her argument.
Yeah,
she needs to say that this is like weird
Good
from
point.
Anything. Like, I think if she just came at him like, hey, it turns me off when I'm in the background, like I'm like the furniture during your FaceTiming.
And no buddies, no male friends are FaceTiming him, so that's the only reason why it's gender. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would rather cut off my pinky than FaceTime.
Oh my God. When somebody FaceTimes me, I want to call the cops. I mean, it's crazy.
Let's do one more. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. We got time for one more. Jordan Jensen, go follow. Hilarious. You'll love her. At Jordan Jensen. LOL stop. Go, go, go. Should I attend a friend's wedding in June? Okay. Longtime listener, Feather. I'll get right into it. I need some help with an upcoming friend's wedding that I'm supposed to be attending. A little backstory. I've known this friend, let's call her Sam, since college. Sam and I didn't get along at all in college, but post-grad, we mutually bonded over bad breakups. Sam has since found love and is getting married this June. Sam and I have talked a lot about her wedding over the last year since her engagements. She tells me that she loves my style and opinion, so she has sent me outfit options for engagement photos, locations for the wedding, etc., which I am happy to give advice on. End of 2021, she asked my opinion on bachelorette party locations. We had an extensive conversation about location, houses to stay at, things to do, etc. Based on that conversation, I assumed I would be invited. However, this past weekend, I was looking through Instagram to see that Sam's bachelorette party was happening that weekend at the house I looked at, told her that I liked only months prior. That's fucked
Dude,
up.
Unabomb this bitch.
Oh my God. That's like... It looked like the group was also more than just the direct bridal party. I was incredibly hurt because she and I talk a lot. Even though we don't live in the same city, we were planning on doing couples trip this year, text a good amount. And I thought even if there wasn't enough room for my addition for the trip, she would at least give me a courtesy text to let me know that I wouldn't be included. I totally agree with this person.
Yeah.
Like, just text me with the explanation. Be a little bit shamed.
Oh, totally.
Be a little ashamed.
Be like, I'm about to post a picture. I did have a thing. It was close people. I'm running out of money because the wedding couldn't.
Yeah. You used my creative resource. You have sucked the creativity out of me that you needed to get your perfect bachelorette party, and you didn't even let me enjoy the creativity that I gave you or have the option to come on this trip. You know, not that anyone deserves to be invited, but at least acknowledge that I was a part of making this happen, that you're a little embarrassed.
It would be so weird. That's like when somebody the other day DM'd me and they were like, does Ethan, my roommate, want to do our show? It's amazing. It's in Williamsburg. It's so great. And I was like, yeah, I'll ask him. And then they were like, do you want to do it? And I was like, yeah, you piece of shit. Yeah. What is wrong with you?
We do the same thing. Yeah, that is enraging.
Yeah.
I mean, totally. She writes... And I thought even if there was enough room for my addition to the trip, she would at least give me a courtesy of a text, let me know that it wouldn't be included. Now for the question. Should I still go to the wedding? What a line in the sand. Is it out of line for me to text her about the exclusion of the bachelorette party after we had the conversations about it? What should I do? I really feel like in my current hurt... at the situation, I really don't want to waste my time off work and money on a wedding for someone who's excluded me like that. Thanks in advance.
Don't go. It's the ultimate. That's what I would do. I would be like, hey, sorry, couldn't make it. Don't go. She will get it. You don't have to spend money. It's a win-win. You've earned the don't go.
You've earned the end of friendship. You've earned, you don't work for this person anymore. You've been relieved and you are... I think that's an option. I agree with you.
I think it's a good even Stevens. Like, if you want to be friends with her, but you want her to know she's a cunt, I don't know if I can say that.
I guess but that's like the passive aggressive.
Yeah, but you still go to the wedding and then
option.
you don't spend any money. Nothing's done. After it's done, it's under the bridge.
Here, I think everyone deserves retribution. I would text this person, hey, I just saw your pictures from the bachelorette party. It looked like fun. I'm a little taken back.
No, because then she's gonna have to go to the wedding because the girl's gonna apologize. She's gonna be like, it's okay, and then they're gonna. I know women. This is what you do. Wait till after the wedding. She says, why weren't you at my wedding? You say, to be honest, it's because you're a bitch. And then she goes, I'm so sorry. And you go, it's okay. And then you can be friends again. But wait till, if you don't want to go to the wedding.
This is why women keep up these friendships that they don't even need or want, and they're fake. And
well, whatever.
I'm telling you, I'm giving you an option that actually, like, let's hash this out. Hey, I just saw your pictures. I think it's insane you didn't even mention this party to me that I helped you plan.
Yeah, but now, she might not want to stop being her friend.
Why wouldn't you want to stop
because
being friends with
we're women, we do these.
I would want, like, I'd be like, okay, let me figure out if you're in or out of my life.
Because this is what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. My friend is doing this right now, uninviting one of our buddies. It's going to be a nightmare because she doesn't want to bring her because she's a bad drunk, but it's going to be fucked up. But they're going to be friends. There's no cutting things off.
That's the thing. No, this is the problem. You guys, this is a huge issue. Everything.
I'm friends with all my exes. We all do this.
Yeah, no. This is insanely bad, unhealthy behavior. I mean, the best option is get engaged to your boyfriend, plan the wedding for the same weekend, and fuck that bitch. You know, and outdo her wedding and do it at the venue next to her.
The girl's gonna have an explanation. She's gonna have an explanation for the bachelor. I didn't even know you would want to. I didn't even think.
Well, at that point, then I would say, I'm not going.
Because you're crazy, yeah.
Yeah, I would say.
Well, we don't know how close they are.
The only explanation
and this girl might be a drag. You know what I mean?
Well, listen. Yeah, we don't. The emailer, they didn't get along in college. And they only get along based on bad breakups. So their whole relationship is based off of hatred and weirdness. I don't trust their friendship. But
so maybe this girl's been trying to connect by being like, help me plan this. And maybe this
But no one does that for their wedding. Like, that's too important to just, like, figure out a friendship with someone. Like,
but if it's long distance, maybe she's like, this girl wants to be friends. They're kind of friendly. She's like, what do you think? Which dress should I choose? Here, a picture. She's like, that one. But she's not thinking in her head.
Keeping up with each other. If they're long distance, they didn't get along in college. They find this weird friendship over bad breakups. And then now they're going to be like, and then she's like, hey, where should I stay for my bachelorette party? Like, you must be closer than, someone's close with someone.
I think this girl wants to be closer with the bride, and the bride is humoring her by being like, where should I stay? That's my.
And then she ended up staying there? You know, that loser had a pretty good idea.
Yeah,
you know, like, it's so insane. Well, that's a person whose wedding I don't want to be at.
Okay.
They refer to me in that way.
If that's not the case, and they are just have this catty friendship, yeah, bail, because this woman's a bitch. But if you can't bail, which I know you might not be able to bail. He doesn't know, but we know. Then wait till after the wedding.
You text her, hey, when's the bachelorette party? Act like you didn't see.
Oh.
Hey, when's the bachelorette party? I got to figure out my calendar. Let's really fuck with this person. Yeah. Let's really put her in a position. Can you imagine receiving that text?
Send a huge picture of the biggest gift ever and be like, when's the bachelorette party? Ready for my gift? And just have it be like refrigerator sized mystery, you know?
A big box with a bow on it, like those Lexus commercials. Yes. Yeah. And be like, hey, totally. I've been meaning to send this off. I had these ideas for your bachelorette party. Or you say, hey, I had another idea for the bachelorette party. You mentioned this place. You should go to this restaurant. This would be a great restaurant for the bachelorette party. And then see how she comes back to you. Like, you could.
Oh, yeah.
In all honesty,
I like
this is the most fun you could ever have.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you are in a position where she doesn't know that you saw the pictures. Maybe she does because she probably looked at her Instagram stories to see who watched. But you just act like you didn't see.
Yeah,
you act like that was a friend trip.
Yeah.
That was just, that was an alumni vacation with friends you didn't get along with. Hey. Hey, I was just online and I remember you talking about going to Miami. Check out this restaurant for the bachelorette party and let's let this woman squirm.
Yeah.
And then listen, everyone deserves retribution. I do believe that. She could come back to you with a very nice text being like, I actually just had the bachelorette party. I wanted to let you know I can't apologize enough. I didn't invite you because the party was the people in the party plus sisters of my new husband. That was it. Because that could have been it.
Yeah.
That's actually reasonable.
Yeah. I should have told you. Found out late. Sorry.
Should have told you. We ended up. It was a whirlwind. I can't apologize enough. She could have a very nice ex. Or it could be insane.
I always use the word whirlwind. What a good one. It's been a whirlwind.
It's been a whirlwind.
Like,
yeah, whirlwind. Yeah. Like, a tsunami took me away.
Yeah.
But it could be that. Or it could be something else. And now you get a screenshot to send to another group of friends. And you can all make fun of this person for the rest of their lives and not go to their wedding. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com.
Nice.
Jordan Jensen, thank you for coming on. Fantastic.
Thank you for having me.
What a great first entry onto the JTrain podcast.
Yeah,
great to have you.
At
Jordan Jensen, LOL Stop. Go follow JordanJensenComedy.com. I'm Jared Freid. We're here every Monday. Keep sending your emails. Shelby's going through the emails. He's got it. He is in charge. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Back next week. Boom.